Hello YouTube, my name is Daniel and today I'm going to be showing you ExoPlayer. ExoPlayer is a Google library for playing videos and music files on Android. So we're going to be creating a demo app which can play music files and video files and also continue playing after rotation. So I've got a completely blank Kotlin Android project open right now. And firstly what I'm going to do is add in the string values for our files. So these are just a test mp3 file and a test mp4 file. You can get these from the GitHub, which I will post in the description. And now I'm going to declare the dependencies. So we just need one dependency, which is Android ExoPlayer, and this will be 2.16.1. And now we're going to go ahead and sync that, and I will come back when it's complete. So now it's completed, I'm just going to go ahead and create the layout file. I will just be pasting this in and then talking over it, as I don't really think it's that interesting to go through writing an XML layout. So firstly, we just have a text view here, and this is going to be used to display the title of our MP3 or MP4 file. We then have a frame layout, which covers the entire screen. So we've got the constraints left to left of parent, right to right of parent, bottom to bottom of parent, and top to bottom of parent. Oh, top to bottom of title. So this will stretch for the entire screen, and the background is just black. Inside here we have our ExoPlayer, which just matches the parent of the frame layout. And then we have a progress bar just centered inside the player view. So whenever a file is buffering, the progress bar will show. And that's it for the layout. And in our manifest, we also need to add the user's internet permission. So users permission, Android permission.internet. And then we just close the tag, and that will allow us to access the internet with our app. Now we can get on with the coding. So I'm going to go into main activity. As we're just creating a simple application, I'm just going to code this straight into the activity, but you should normally separate this out down into fragments. So up the top, I'm going to start declaring some variables. So private later init var, and we have the player, which will be an instance of ExoPlayer. Then our player view. Our progress bar. And the title. So it was titled TV, and this is going to be a text view. Now we're just going to initialize this down here. So progress bar is going to be find view by ID, and that will be r.id.progressbar. Then the title will be r.id.title. Then we're going to create some functions. The first function is going to be setUpPlayer. So private fun setUpPlayer. Then firstly, we're going to initialize our player. So this will be ExoPlayer.builder. And then you have to pass in the context, which will be this, and then .build. And then we can initialize player view, which will be find view by ID, r.id.video view. And then we can assign the player to the view. So player view dot player equals player. And then we also have to implement the player listener on our activity. So if we go up to here, and then type player, and then type comma player dot listener, and then just import player here. And then we can set this activity as listener. So that will be player dot add listener, and then this. Now that's the function for setUpPlayer, and we're going to be calling this in main activity. in the onCreate. Next we have a function called add Mp4 files. So this is going to add our Mp4 files from our strings folder into our player. So firstly we need to declare a media item. This can be either an Mp4 file or an Mp3 file. And to do this we use media item dot from URI, and then we pass in the URI which we can get from our string resources. So get string r.id r.string .media URL underscore mp. Then we can call player dot add media item and pass in the media item. Then we need just to do a similar function for the mp3 files. So add mp3 files and we can just copy and paste this and replace the string with the mp3 file, which is test underscore mp3. And after both of these functions we also need to add player prepare in order to prepare the instance of ExoPlayer. So player.prepare, and also in the mp4 function. So now we just need to override some functions to handle the loading state of the player and also displaying the title of the file. So for handling the play state, we want to override on play state changed. And there's only two cases that we care about. The first one is player.state underscore buffering. And if it's buffering, we just want to show our progress bar. And the other state is ready. And if the player is in that state, we just want to hide the progress bar. Visibility equals view.invisible. Then for changing the title text view, we want to override on media metadata changed. So another way we can find this, if we go to Control O and then just start typing on media. Or media, yeah. So on media metadata changed, we double click on that, and we just want to add the title here. So that'll be title TV dot text equals media metadata dot title. Now not all files are going to have a title, so you want to specify a different field. And if either of those are null, I'm just going to put a little message saying title not found. Title not found. Now we're going to scroll up here and add in our functions just to make sure they execute on create. So add mp3 files and add mp4 files. And to get the most basic instance of ExoPlayer working and running, this should be all you need. So I'm going to go ahead and run it and we'll see what we got. So we can see the app is loaded fine. We've got our title here and it's loaded some album art, and we've got our player instance down here. Now the first file was the mp3 file. So if we click play, we should be able to hear this play out.
Suppose you use the internet to rent a movie on your laptop.
So we can hear that playing absolutely fine, and then we can press this button here to skip to the mp4 file. And this is just a test video that I found from Google on their page. So we can see this is running absolutely fine with audio as well. And we can see the title was also changed. So that is the basic instance of ExoPlayer. But we can see here, if we rotate the screen, the player state will not be saved. So I'm going to rotate now, click this button here. And we can see here the player state has completely been recreated. So we no longer were playing that video and we're not able to resume it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how we can implement that so we can continue playing the video when rotating the device. So in order to save the player state before the app is destroyed, we need to override the onSaved instance out state. So we can just go here and type save instance, and we want the out state with the bundle, so this one here. And this is a bundle where we can put certain key value data to then be restored once the activity is then recreated. So out state, and then here we want to put long, and this will be our seek time. And this will be the current position of the player. So player current position. And then we need to put in another value, which will be int. And this will be our media item. So when the activity is restored, it's going to add in the media item and then set the seek time to the current position. So media item, and then player.current media item index. Next, in our onCreate, we need to check whether there is anything in the saved instance bundle in order to be restored. So firstly, we're going to check if the saved instance state is not null. So firstly, we're going to get our media item, so that'll be saved instance state dot get int and the key, which is media item. And then we're going to use .let so we can get the instance of that media item. And then we can also get the seek time here. We're just going to make the assumption that we have saved the seek time because we know in such a small app that we can see it right here, put long seek time. But in real apps, you probably do want to check for this and make sure you actually do have it before saving it. So seek time equals saved instance state dot get long. And then the key is seek time. And then we're going to assign these values to our player. So this would be player.seek2. Then we pass in the restored media, which I'm just going to put up here. So restored media. And the seek time. Then when we've done that, we can tell the player to start playing. So player play. Now there's a few other things we need to do just to make this a bit more cleaner, a bit more performant. We're going to override on stop. So if it is in the stop state, we want to release the player to make sure it clears up the memory and any resources that are being used. And that should be all we need to actually run the player and also to restore the play state when we rotate the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and run this and see if that fixes the issue. Now the app is now running. What I'm going to do is I'm going to skip ahead to the Mp4 file so we can see if the video state is also being restored. Please be aware that the emulator can be a bit choppy and buggy sometimes, but this does work on a real phone completely fine and smoothly. It's just the emulator is just a bit buggy and takes a bit of time to rotate. So I'm going to start playing the video. And now I'm going to go ahead and rotate the screen. And now I just have to press this button up here on the emulator to actually rotate it. And then it rotates, and then we can see it restores the play position absolutely fine. So that is ExoPlayer completely working. So if you want to add this into your projects, I definitely recommend it. I've used it on larger apps and it works absolutely fine. So I have a GitHub repository for this where you can take a look at the code and then use it in your own code. So I'll put the link in the description. But yeah guys, that's it for the video. Please like and comment, and please subscribe.